Hola y bienvenidos al video. Hoy vamos a discutir el tiempo, or time. How to tell time in Spanish. The process is pretty easy, but there are a couple tricks to it, so you need to be paying attention. Be sure to write this slide down. The basics of telling time are really easy. All you have to do is use son las and add in the number that you want. So if it's 2 o'clock, son las dos. If it's 4 o'clock, son las cuatro. If it's 12 o'clock, son las doce. Why don't you try one? What would 3 o'clock be? If you said son las tres, you're right. How about 10 o'clock? Son las 10 would be the answer to that one. Okay, there is one exception that you have to remember, and that's 1 o'clock. If you think about it, the numbers 2 through 12 are all plural. So we use the plural word for is son, which actually means are. But 1 is singular. So we use the singular form of the verb ser. We use es. So 1 o'clock is es la una. It's the only one that's es la una, and you really, really need to remember that it's the only one that's not son las. Say it with me. Es la una. Es la una. Be sure you write that down because it will be very important later. Now the next big question I always get is, what about the minutes? Well, minutes in Spanish are a little bit different than minutes in English. We actually have to divide the clock in half. So if we look at this half between the 12 and the 6 with the 3 on it, that would be the minutes 01 through 30. And if I'm using the minutes 01 through 30, I'm going to add the minutes to the time using E. If you remember, E means and. Be sure you write that down because you're going to forget if you don't. So if I want to say that it's 2:10, I would say son las 2:10. The E is telling me it's 2 and 10 minutes, 2 o'clock and 10 minutes. If I want to say 4:20, I'm going to say son las 4:20. So now I know that it's 4 o'clock and 20 minutes. You try one. How would you say it's 6:25? If you said son las 6:25, you would be right. Now here's a really tricky one. How would I say it's 1:05? If you said es la 1:05, you are perfecto. Muy bien. All right, now we're going to look at the second half of the clock. The half that's between the 12 and the 6 with the 9 on it. These are the higher minutes. Whoops, moved the wrong thing there. These are the higher minutes. So this is minutes 31 through really 59, even though I wrote 60. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Now you have to subtract. So I'm going to go up to the next hour and subtract the number of minutes that it is. In English, we would say it was like 20 minutes to 9 or 25 minutes to 10 or something like that. But it's normal in Spanish to do this, and it does take a little getting used to. So if it's 5:35, I'm going to go up to the next hour. That's 6. And then I have to figure out how many minutes to subtract from 6 to get back down to 35. You math experts out there have already figured out that it's 25 minutes. So I'm going to start with son las 6. Remember, I have to move up to 6. Son las 6. Now I'm going to say menos because I'm doing a subtraction problem. Menos. And then I'm going to give the number of minutes I'm subtracting. 25. So 5:35 is son las 6 menos 25. An easier one would be 10:50. Okay, so I have to go up to the next hour. That's 11 or 11. And then I'm going to subtract 60 minus 50 is 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 minutes. So that's 10. So my answer would be son las 11 menos 10 for 10:50. Be sure you write this down because this is the confusing part and you're going to get messed up. Try another one. Let's say that it is 3:55. Figure out how to say 3:55. If you said son las 4 menos 5, you are absolutely right. Let's try this one. let's say that it is 1:50. How would you say it is 1:50? This one's really tricky. If you said son las 2:50, you are correct. I had to go up to 2, not stay at 1. But if I wanted to say 12:50, then it would be different. Try and figure out 12:50. If you said es la 1:10 for 12:50, you're right. I go up to 1 and then I subtract 10. Well, that's pretty much it. Just one little thing more. There are some special words that I want you to know. The first one is cuarto. You may remember that cuarto means fourth. Well, it's also used for 15 after. If I say y cuarto, oh, it changed it on me. It's C-U-A-T-R-O. And no, don't change it on me. So if I say y cuarto, it's going to be 15 after. But if I say menos cuarto, remember I'm subtracting, then it's going to be 45 after. And the other one is media, M-E-D-I-A. Media looks like middle a little bit. Looks like media in English, but it's actually middle like 30. So if I say y media, it means it's 30 after or half past or whatever you want to say. So if I say 3:15, it's 3:15. If I say 3 menos cuarto, it's 2:45. And if I say 3:30, it's 2:30. Be sure to write down those special words because you will need to know them. Well, that's it. Tienen un buen tiempo. Adiós.